Frequency Podcast Network. Stories that matter, podcasts that resonate.
Make it 3 medals for Team Canada now at the 2026 Winter Games in Italy. Hi, I'm Virjesh Dave. This is Big Headlines, everything you need to know to be in the know in just 5 minutes. Big celebration for Canada at the skating arena in Milan, where this country's hardware hall has increased to 3 after winning the silver in the short track speed skating mixed team relay. This comes as captain for Canada's women's hockey team, Marie-Philippe Poulin, has been ruled out of the preliminary game today against the U.S. The Canadian Olympic Committee and Hockey Canada making the decision together after Poulin suffered a lower body injury during Monday's game against Czechia. Sportsnet reporter Ailish Forfar spoke about this before official word came out.
I'm okay with it if it means it gives her another 24 hours without putting strain on her body. So, I mean, there's no other way to say it, but it's the biggest loss they could have had.
Following today's game against the U.S., Canada will play its postponed game against Finland on February 12th to close out the preliminary round. And to freestyle skiing in men's moguls, Canadians Julien Viel and flag bearer Mikael Kingsbury have advanced straight to Thursday's final after finishing second and third in qualifying today. A fuel shortage in Cuba is disrupting Canadian winter travel plans. Air Canada, WestJet, and Air Transat have all now suspended service to the island for the next 2 months, in fact, and now Canadians are waiting for flights back home. All 3 airlines have confirmed they do plan to bring travelers back here to Canada. Travelers at Toronto's Pearson Airport returned from Cuba and say they're just thankful to be back here.
We really lucked out because our flight was on the 2nd, so timing was amazing.
We're here, yeah, and we're safe and everybody's fine.
Cuba is rationing energy as the U.S. government cuts the island off from its traditional fuel sources. U.S. President Donald Trump is seeking to isolate the country and further ramp up pressure on Cuba, a longtime adversary under strict economic sanctions from Washington. The multi-billion-dollar Gordie Howe Bridge linking Ontario and Michigan is the latest target for U.S. President Donald Trump. Trump used a post on Truth Social to say he would not allow the opening of the 2.4-kilometer-long bridge between Windsor and Detroit until, quote, Canada treats the United States with the fairness and respect that we deserve. Now, Prime Minister Mark Carney's reacting, saying he spoke to Trump today about the bridge. Carney says he explained to Trump that Canada paid for it, that the ownership is shared between the state of Michigan and the government of Canada, and that steel from both countries was used in its construction.
This is a great example of cooperation between our countries. Look forward to it opening. And what is particularly important, of course, is the commerce and the tourism and the voyages of Canadians and Americans that will go across that bridge. So the conversation turned to a series of issues that we will raise and we're going to follow up on. I'm not going to go into detail on those issues.
Now, it's not exactly clear how Trump could block the bridge from opening. One U.S. senator, though, said canceling the project would have serious repercussions, including higher costs for Michigan businesses. Also making big headlines, Canadians are learning more about the death of comedy legend Catherine O'Hara. A Los Angeles County death certificate says the 71-year-old died at a California hospital last month from a pulmonary embolism with rectal cancer as the underlying cause. The doctor who signed the certificate had been treating O'Hara since March of last year. The Emmy-winning actress became widely known for her comedic roles across the decades, from Kevin's mom in Home Alone to the iconic Moira Rose in Schitt's Creek. Babies who were given peanuts, eggs, fish, and other common food allergens early and consistently are less likely to become allergic to them. That's according to a new Canadian study. The senior author says researchers analyzed more than 190 food allergy studies from around the world to identify the strongest risk factors.
Early introduction is when baby's ready. They've got the coordination to sit up and chew with their mouth, and they're curious about food. For many, that'll be around age 4 months, maybe 5 months, maybe 6 months.
The study found delaying the introduction of peanut-containing foods until babies were over 12 months old doubled their likelihood of becoming allergic to the nut. Food Allergy Canada cautions peanuts are actually a choking hazard, but a safe way to incorporate them is by mixing peanut butter with hot water and then cooling that mixture and adding it to soft foods that the baby's already eating. If you haven't listened yet, today on the Big Story podcast, unpacking all of the Easter eggs in Bad Bunny's halftime show, host Karen Siolan speaks to Associate Professor at the University of Toronto, Juan Carlos Roca Osornio.
Can you help me decode, I suppose, some of the more overt symbolism, like the sugarcane fields or the straw hats? I mean, there was food on display, jewelry, boxing. Like, what did, if you can, I know it's a very broad question, but, what did all of that represent?
Yeah, well, the sugar cane, for example, the plantations that are a very big part of Puerto Rico, but not only of Puerto Rico, of other countries. Think about all the different islands in the Caribbean region, for example, that were colonized by the English, by the Dutch. The sugar cane, the plantations where a lot of slaves were brought over to the Americas. So by him portraying that on the show is a way of showing everybody that it is part of the culture, that the culture has struggled a lot with issues such as slavery.
You can listen to the full episode wherever you get your podcasts. Now you're in the know. Thank you for listening to Big Headlines. Make sure you follow, share, and review Big Headlines. Enrique Amaturo is our lead producer. I'm Virjesh Dave. Have an amazing day. We'll talk to you tomorrow.